Hi, this is Toby from Metro Tech Reps. How are you? Since every single one of my appointments this week has canceled because of the COVID-19, I figured why not do a demo virtually and let you get some education while you're sitting at your desk also. So today I'd like to do a small demo regarding the Atlona Omega series products. The demo is based around the concept that I have plenty of customers that are asking me about a very specific application that we are able to solve. The application is based around the concept of having an in-room PC running Zoom, let's just call it a Zoom room, and then a guest laptop that wants to come in and use the room and allow the camera and microphones that the Zoom room was using to be used on the laptop. So I'm going to share some content with you. I'm going to show you some pieces, and then I'll show you actually the software that makes it happen. All right, hold on one second, share my screen, and we'll get started. Awesome. So now you should have my screen, the Atlona PowerPoint regarding the Omega product line. Here's a drawing that shows what we're trying to accomplish. What we have is a TV, and over at the TV, behind the TV, we have a room computer installed. That room computer is connected to the TV via, the room computer is connected to a receiver via HDMI and via USB host. There's also a camera in the system. This happens to be Atlona's camera, but it can be any camera, it doesn't matter. And that camera is also connected to the receiver via USB. Then connected from the receiver, there is a transmitter. That transmitter is at the table or in the credenza or something along those lines. Connected to that transmitter, there also happens to be a speaker and microphone and a laptop that is connected via HDMI and USB host. So when the user walks in and uses the room computer to do a Zoom room call, they have the camera and they have the microphone available to them. However, when the wired laptop walks in and plugs in via HDMI or USB, the camera and the microphone automatically switch to the wired laptop, and then from the wired laptop, they can do their presentation. When they disconnect, the microphone and camera automatically switch back to the room computer, and the room is back in the Zoom room state. Let me show you a couple of those pieces in depth. This is the Atlona transmitter called the OME MS42. It has various different inputs. There are two HDMI inputs, a DisplayPort input, and a USB-C input. Now let me tell you something about the USB-C input. This is very unique. That USB-C not only handles video, but it also handles power. So we charge the laptop, and it also handles USB host and hub. So if you have a customer with a modern laptop, like I'm about to get today, can't wait, then you'll be able to, from a single cable, plug USB-C into this device and get video, power, and USB distribution all from one cable. Very simple integration. If that doesn't work for you, then you can plug in HDMI and USB host to this computer as well. Obviously, the speaker or the microphone and speaker plug into the USB hub port. There's then an HDMI output port that can be the TV if you're in a credenza, let's say, or if you have a longer distance to go, which is what we're showing today, you would use the HD-Base-T output. That HD-Base-T output goes into the receiver, the AT-OME SR21. The SR21 has the HD-Base-T in. It then has a HDMI output, and or we'll de-embed the audio so that you can take it to a speaker bar if you prefer to not use the speakers in the TV. There's also a LAN port on it and a small switch, so you can add an extra device. On the other side of the, there's also RS-232, so we can control the TV, or if you have a projector and a screen, we can bring the screen down via the relay ports. On the other side of the box, there's an HDMI input. This is where the room computer or the Zoom room is going to install. And there's a USB host port so that Zoom room computer can also plug in there. And then 2 USB hub ports for camera and or microphone. That's those 2 boxes. And together, they allow you to easily set up the AT-MS42 so that the USB port can follow USB, follow manually, or follow the video. So whatever source is plugged in, USB or video, the USB routing from that's plugged in the MS42 will automatically route to the OME SR21. The SR21 will also give you display control, so I can turn the TV on and off via CEC or RS-232 or IP control, depending upon how you want to control your TV. We also have EDID settings, and we can take that EDID settings from the HDBaseT connection or from the HDMI connection of the TV. So sorry about that. The next part of the Omega product line is the switcher. Let's say you have a little bit bigger of a room and you need to add a switcher, a presentation switcher, because it's not point to point, but you need other sources, speakers, DSP, etc. This is the equipment rack, and inside that is the switcher, and the switcher is connected to the transmitter and the receiver via HDBaseT. This is the actual switcher. It's called the AT-OME PS62, and it has 3 HDMI connections and a USB-C connection. Same rules apply. Also has 2 HDBaseT inputs. One of those inputs could be from the MS42. The other one could be from a wall plate, because we also make a wall plate called the AT-OME EX-TX, and that gives you HDMI and USB connectivity at a wall plate. So you can fill up those 2 HDBaseT inputs, fill up the HDMI and USB-C inputs. From an output perspective, there are 2, and they're completely switchable. One is HDBaseT, and the other is HDMI. We built it this way so that if you had a recorder and you needed to take this HDMI out to a recording device, you could do that. However, if you were running 2 displays from far distance, you could use one of the HDBaseT outputs, take this HDMI output to one of our transmitters, and then extend it via UTP or HDBaseT to your receiver. That way you don't have costs of having to de-embed something if you don't need it. You only have to add a transmitter if you do. The product also has 2 USB host ports and 2 USB hub ports. So all of the signal distribution that we did in the previous configuration with camera and microphone can also happen through the PS62. Make sense? So now what I'd like to show you is how you would actually expand this system. So this is our Velocity software, and the Velocity software is tied to our control system that can be installed in a VM server and control as many rooms as you have. Here in this room, I happen to have a room called the MS42 and SR21 demo room. This is that room that I just built with the auto switching. However, let's say I wanted to not have it auto switch. I wanted to have a Zoom room, a laptop, and a TV. I could simply see the MS42 when I've configured and programmed it. I've said that I'm going to use the USB-C input for my laptop and the HDMI input for my laptop. I've also said that on the SR21, which is the receiver, I'm going to have the connections come from the MS42 as well as from a Zoom room computer. So when I launch the control platform, this opens a web page. This could be a web page, it could be our touch panel, it could be an iPad, an Android tablet, it doesn't matter. When I click the video tab, it'll turn the room on. And if I want to select USB-C, I can select USB-C, and that source will be sent to the TV. If I want to just drag and drop it, I can drag and drop, and the HDMI laptop will go to the TV. Or if I have a Zoom room, I can drag the Zoom room over to the TV, and instantly the UI for the Zoom room shows up. I now have the ability to run Zoom just as if I was natively running it from an iPad app. However, I still maintain complete control within my user experience. Now, I have another room set up here called the the PS62 room. And the PS62 room adds that switcher in, also added some additional sources, an Apple TV, cable TV, Zoom room. Actually, I don't think I'm using the Apple TV. But I go through the same configuration mode, and when I launch the control system, the control platform, touch panel, web page, etc., I then have the ability to select my laptop, bring my laptop to that display, send my wireless source to that display. If I want to send cable TV, I can. And actually, Velocity creates this nice user experience remote. It's completely customizable. However you want to change it, you can. But this is all created automatically for you. Or if I wanted to take Zoom rooms to one of the displays, I could take Zoom, start my meeting. Cool part is that when we end the meeting, when the meeting ends, the system will automatically switch back to your video tab, and your meeting will be able to then send a laptop to that room. So that's a quick spin through the Atlona Omega product line, at least a couple pieces of them, specifically how we would attach or attack USB and HDMI switching all at the same time. And so I hope you have enjoyed the video. Hope that you have learned a little bit about our product. I have demos available, and we'll be happy to bring them over for you to see, or build a proof of concept room for you if you would like. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Hope to see you soon when we're allowed to have appointments again. I don't know, this is crazy.